Let's be honest, we all love a bit of sexy cinematic B-roll now and again. But what I also love is being able to edit that B-roll on a budget. Which is why I use a tasty little app called LumaFusion. So today, I'm going to super quickly show you how to make that B-roll look even more cinematic in one simple, easy step. First, we need to create a new project. Then we select our desired aspect ratio. Right within the project creation window, we can select the desired aspect ratio for the project. In this case, I'm going to go with good old cinematic widescreen. Next, we drop in our footage to create a sequence on the timeline. You can see that because we have already selected our aspect ratio for the project, LumaFusion has already gone ahead and dropped the correctly proportioned letterbox bars in for us. But the problem comes when you want to mix aspect ratios in your video. This is where the next step comes in, which is to hit share and export a snapshot of your current frame to your camera roll. Next, navigate to that snapshot in your camera roll via the media browser window. Then simply drag and drop that into the second video channel on the timeline. Hitting the settings icon, we need to select project settings and take the frame aspect ratio back to 16:9 landscape, or whichever you prefer your base ratio to be. Once we close that, you can see that our image on the second video channel is zoomed in, filling the screen. So we need to change that by double tapping on it, which opens the editor. Then, under size and position, rescale the image by reducing the size until the sides just fit within the frame. I found 74.2 to be about right. Closing the editor, we can now see that the image is central and has a gap top and bottom, which is equal to that of the black letterbox bars of the widescreen aspect ratio. So we now need to fill in the gaps with some movable bars. We do this by jumping to source menu and hitting titles. Drag and drop any over the timeline and double tap to open the editor. First of all, I'm going to turn off the text by hitting the little eye symbol on the text layer. Then, hitting the plus button, we need to add a new shape layer. We'll turn this black by selecting face color and choosing black and removing any drop shadow by reducing opacity to 0. Next, we drag the black shape to the corner and line the base of it up with the top of the snapshot picture we imported. And stretching this all the way over to the other side, we create a full bar. We then need to duplicate this by hitting the duplicate button above the adjustment sliders. This will then add a second identical black shape on top of the first, which we can then drag down and position along the bottom edge of the snapshot. Returning to the timeline, we can now delete our guide snapshot, thus leaving us with two perfectly placed black bars. To have the bars smoothly slide away, I'm going to trim that section to the point where I want them completely gone, and then bring the playhead to the point at which I want them to start disappearing. Double tap the bars track to open the editor, and in Frame and Fit, select a keyframe at exactly this point. Jump to the end of the section and, by adjusting the size slider, scale the bars up so they are no longer in the frame. And there we have it, accurately sized bars from scratch that you can raise and lower at any point. Just to be clear though, this tip isn't going to magically transform a dreary vlog into a Martin Scorsese epic, rather it is just an effect to give your footage a more stylized look. Thanks for watching, and I hope that little tip gives your footage the extra little cinematic boost it deserves. For more tips, tricks and tutorials on LumaFusion and other such apps, feel free to subscribe. Until next time, peace.